Yes, lads, welcome to the Gooner's Voice. Reese Jacobs here. I hope you're having a wonderful and smashing Monday wherever you're watching from, and I hope you're feeling better after the weekend's Premier League results, taking into consideration what happened at Aston Villa yesterday. I know I'm feeling a lot better considering how I felt on Saturday after the Man City game, the Nottingham Forest game. Just felt like a wasted opportunity once again for Arsenal. We've seen it last week against Liverpool. We've seen it now again against Nottingham Forest. But in the grand scheme of things, when I, relaxed and I thought about things yesterday after the Aston Villa game, you know, it's us who extended our lead. It's Man City who lost. It's Aston Villa who lost. Yet it's our fan base that are getting all panicky and worried, and we shouldn't. We're 7 points clear. Yes, it should be 11. It should be 11, but it's not. We can't look at what's and ifs and what ifs. We have to look at the facts, and we are 7 clear. And I think if you told any Arsenal fan at the beginning of the season, after 22 games, you guys would be 7 points clear at the top of the table, we would have bit the hand off. So, yeah, not the best result against Nottingham Forest. Let's be honest. If you're going to win a league title, that's the type of game you have to win. And I feel it is a bit nervy at Arsenal at the moment. You can tell in the Premier League games, especially. We've seen the Carabao Cup games, the FA Cup games, the Champions League games. The fear doesn't seem to be there. Whereas in the Premier League game, it's more of we cannot lose no matter what. And we see that in the performances. I thought the second half against Nottingham Forest was extremely poor, almost as poor as the Liverpool second half, which undoubtedly was our worst performance of the season. And that's how I'm going to work the title into the video today, is that's the reason why I believe Arsenal will win the league. And obviously I'm Arsenal biased. So when Arsenal play poorly, when Arsenal play badly, they still don't look like they're going to lose. I mean, we saw that against Liverpool. That was Arsenal, undoubtedly, their worst performance, that second half against Liverpool. Yet Liverpool didn't manage a shot on target. So this defense will get Arsenal, over games, will get them over the line. But the attack needs adjusting, and Arteta needs to find a better balance. The second half, in particular, Odegaard was just, nowhere to be found. He was missing in that second half. Even when Eze came on, he wasn't particularly doing anything, outstanding. I thought Marino was the pick of the bunch. I don't think Declan Rice nor Zubimendi had a really good game. And when you have a midfield of Zubimendi, Declan Rice, and Martin Odegaard, you should be dominating games on the regular. And let's be honest, Arsenal just have not. I think there was a small period in the first half of about the 20th minute or 30th minute where Arsenal really dominated and kept the play within Nottingham Forest's half or within their defensive box. And other than that, there was just nothing else. Martinelli had a chance that he should have put away and he should have put in the back of the net. But a game is full of chances, and Arsenal did not create enough for me. So I thought a point was actually what we deserved, to be fair. We can't look at that Martinelli chance and think that should have been enough to win the game. No. If you're going to a place like Nottingham Forest, you have to create. I mean, it's a team that's only picked up 10 points at home. You have to create opportunities. You have to create chances. And I think that Arteta is relaying this message to this group of players. I don't think it's the players themselves. I think it's Arteta. And rightly so, you can understand it. He was at this position a couple of years ago with Man City, 8 points clear, albeit Man City had a couple of games in hand. And at the end, let's call it what it is. They bottled the league. And he doesn't want that this year. And I think he's a bit too conservative. He's a bit too pragmatic in the sense where I feel he's telling the players, we cannot lose the game, where I think he should be telling the players, this is a game that needs to be won. You need to go 9 points clear. You need to, extend that advantage. Seven's just not enough against the City team or Aston Villa or whoever it may be. You need to be winning your games. And I don't think this pragmatic approach is working out. And we saw against Aston Villa in that second half at the Emirates against Villa, when Arteta gets the boys riled up, when he says, go and play football, go and win, they can do it. We've seen it against Atletico Madrid as well. They've done it against big teams at the Emirates. And they can do it away from home, especially against the likes of Nottingham Forest. And that's the type of game you need to be winning. So I understand the frustration, but at the same time, the panic is just outrageous. You're 7 points clear. Man City just lost to their biggest title rival. The the boost in confidence for Arsenal on that front, and the sucker of a punch of confidence for Man City losing to Man United, a poor Man United, by the way. Not on the day. I thought Man United were fantastic. They were totally meriting their win, but losing to your rival in that way, after drawing three in a row, and then you go and lose. Man City have not won a game in the Premier League for four, in four. And we're sitting here panicking about Arsenal. I think it's a bit outrageous. I do understand the frustration, like I say. That Nottingham Forest performance, that Liverpool performance is just bad taste, and better get it out of the system now than later down in the line when the running comes in, because we are still really early stages into a Premier League title. Like, the title's never won in January, no matter how many points you are ahead. It will get more messy. It will get more nervy, and Arsenal will have to deal with that. And I don't think now, in particular, they're dealing with it really well. And maybe they just need to get it out of their system. And hopefully, the Nottingham Forest performance is the last we'll see of that really lacking creativity, pragmatic Arsenal 11. I'm really not a fan of it. I thought, we always pointing fingers at someone like Victor Gyökeres, but he gets no service whatsoever. No service. He gets maybe one or two chances in a game itself. And that's down to Arsenal. That's down to the 11. They need to work with each other. They need to find that cohesion, and they're just not there at the moment. And hopefully that picks up, during the course of the next couple of weeks, because the start of January was really well, but we mid-January now, and there's been a couple of results that has just, left us with a bit of a downer, because we always think, what if we're 11 points clear as opposed to 7? But we'll take 7. And coming back to the fact, Man City played terribly and they lost. And every match they've lost or drawn this season, they've played terribly and they haven't picked up points. Whereas Arsenal, when they're not playing well, and this is the exact reason why I think Arsenal will win the title this season, is that they don't need to play well to pick up a point. They don't need to play well to pick up 3 points. We've seen that for the entirety of the season. Let's be honest. When was the last time we saw Arsenal play well? I can tell you, on my right hand, there's only 2 games where Arsenal really played like the team that they are, or they're supposed to be. And that was Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, or maybe 3, and Villa at the Emirates. The rest of the games have just been, really grindy 3-point results, and not very, attack flowing or pretty on the eye. But they've 7 points clear by doing that. Arsenal have not played their best football for the season yet. They're far from it. And hopefully when Kai Havertz comes back, maybe Gyökeres finds a bit of form, that will pick up. But for now, they haven't. And that gives me a sense of comfort that they haven't played their best football yet they're 7 points clear. It's going to click for Arsenal. We saw this a couple of seasons ago when we just ran short against Man City. Ultimately, it was the game at Villa Park, or at the Emirates, that Villa ended up winning 2-0, where Arsenal went on an insane run in the new year. And the season started exactly the way it started this year, where it was a lot of set pieces, a lot of grindy results, but they kept themselves within touching distance of Man City and Liverpool. Liverpool was going for the title at the time. And at the start of the year, they just went on this run. I think it was like 13 in 14. They won 13 games from 14, or 12 from 14. Yeah, 12 from 14, because they drew against City and they lost against Villa. And ultimately, that cost them the title. And if they go on a run like that now at the start of this year, or the turn of this year, Arsenal will win this league by March. Pretty simple. Like, Man City don't have the defensive capabilities that the Arsenal team has to maintain this title charge. So I think, let's stop the panic. There's a reason Arsenal top. There's a reason they're 7 points clear. I'm not going to say keep doing what you're doing, because it's not easy on the eye, and it's not something I associate Arsenal with, or any previous Arsenal teams from the past. And maybe that's why they're doing so well. Maybe we need this pragmatic approach. But yeah, I think cut the panic. Arsenal are on a really good spot. Anyone would kill to be in the spot Arsenal are in. Top of the Champions League, top of the Premier League, through to the next round of the FA Cup, semi-final of the Carabao Cup, with 1 foot into the final. We have to play at the Emirates. So not all doom and gloom, especially after yesterday's result. No one anticipated Everton going to Villa and beating Villa. No one at all. We thought City would win at Old Trafford. They didn't. We thought Arsenal would smash Nottingham Forest. They didn't. We thought Aston Villa would beat Everton. They did not. Yet it's Arsenal who have come out with a positive result and a positive outcome. So let's stop the panicking. Let's look forward to tomorrow night against Inter Milan. We'll drop a little predictions video tomorrow. And obviously the big one coming up on the weekend. But for now, this is Reese. Peace.